Hi guys, welcome to our ValZenDen. My name is Valerie. Today I'm going to be showing you guys the Light Lacquer The Story Continues trio. This one is actually a continuation of last year's spring collection, What's Your Fantasy, which is a very beautiful, fairy, enchanted, magical theme. If you guys haven't seen that video, I will leave it up here or down below so you guys can go check it out as well. So yeah, it's a continuation of that collection, and for that reason I cannot wait to show you guys my swatches, my comparisons, and at the very end I also do a ranking from my least to my most favorite. So if you guys are interested in that, just keep watching. In case you guys didn't know, I do have an affiliate code with Light Lacquer, and I just want to give a huge thanks to everyone who used my code during launch day and are continuing to use it for every other purchase. I really appreciate it. It helps out the channel so much, so I am forever grateful. And also, I do also film my first reaction when I open the package. I can finally post it on YouTube Shorts, but I am not sure if I posted that one here. But I do post everything on my Instagram and my TikTok, but now that I can post it here, I will continue to post it here. Alright, so I did want to start off by showing you guys the nail tattoos, and I wanted to show you guys the new and the old one just in case you guys did buy the original one when it came out. This one is the original one with just the white background, and then this one with the blue background is the new one, and the background has nothing to do with anything. You are not gonna get a blue tattoo or anything. It is just so you can visually see them better with a background in the back. I also received another one of these, which also came with the What's Your Fantasy collection, and it is just like, they look like little water droplets. It is so beautiful. And I did want to show you guys the little cartridge it came in. It is just so cute because it has like that butterfly cutout right there. And if you guys see in the background, I'm just gonna open it up even though it's gonna be kind of hard to see. You guys can see the image. It's a fairy, and then if you look down, it's more art stuff, and I just love when they pay attention to detail like this. It's so pretty. But alright, let's begin with the collection. The first one I have here is called True Love's Kiss. True Love's Kiss is described as a sheer taupe polish with an amber pink shimmer finish. Oh my god. This one, out of the three, took me the longest to decide what I wanted to compare to. It's just probably, out of the three, it's probably the most unique one. Obviously, it is a sheer finish, but you can build it up as much as you want. I always add like 4 layers to everything, so I always like to build it up, but they're obviously made to be as thin as you'd like also. Okay, if you guys are seeing the comparisons, the first one that I compared it to is Witchling. Like I said, I struggled to compare these polishes because it is so different from anything that we have in Light Lacquer. But anyways, the first one that I compared it to is Witchling. Obviously, they don't look anything alike, but I just felt it was like kind of in the same realm, especially with the theme of like the magic and the fantasy and all of that. Witchling looks so much more as like a rose gold kind of color. Obviously, it's like a metallic, and I think this one is also magnetic. The one on my thumb is Mean Girl. Obviously, they're very different as well. Mean Girl has a very obvious like blue shifty shimmer to it. I feel like it has more of a base color to it, unlike True Love's Kiss, which feels like there's a lot of shimmers but doesn't feel like there's a true color in the background. I don't know if I'm making any sense right now, but the tone of the pink is different. Obviously, like I said, True Love's Kiss has more of a orangey red background, so that's what makes it mostly different. The next one I compared it to is So Long Loverboy. I did want to put it here because it does fall into that like purpley pink kind of realm. I just wanted to show you guys how different they are, and I hope it helped. And the last one that I put here is We Come to Party. The thing that compelled me to put it here is the undertone. I feel like it has like strangely of like a brownie purple kind of undertone, so that's mainly why I put it here. On the next comparison, the first one that I compared it to is We Go Together. I knew that I was gonna put this one because it is a very hollow shimmery pink, but obviously you guys can tell that We Go Together is a lot more bright and more like cool toned, I'd like to say. The one on my thumb is Drama Queen, and I feel like out of all of them, this one is like the most similar to it, only because it is like a cool toned pink purpley kind of thing, even though like I said, True Love's Kiss has like a reddish orangey tone to it, but they have something that's so similar. I can't put my finger on it. The next one that I put here is Dear Diary. I guess the same thing applies here. I put it here because it is like a cool toned purpley pink kind of thing, but they're obviously very different. And the last one that I put here is Brujita, and to be honest, the reason why I put Brujita here is because on the bottle they look almost identical, and I'm like, I know someone out there is gonna find this really helpful so you guys can see how absolutely different they are, but that's why I like to compare it on my nail, because the bottles can be so deceiving and you guys can see that they are so different, and I'm just hoping somebody, like, it helps someone that I put Brujita here. Okay, since this was such a hybrid color color that like took forever for me to compare. I do have quite a few polishes that I wanted to share with you guys, so grab your popcorn and your snacks, and it's not like 100 of them, but it is quite a few. A little bit. So let's just get started. Alrighty, this one is next to Burberry. Here it is next to Super Freak. This is next to Zoe or Zomo. Here it is next to Sherry. This is next to Nebula. Here it is next to Yzma. This is Love a Lot Bear. This is next to Frenchie. Here it is next to Candy Clouds. This is next to Care a Lot Bear. Here it is next to Skip It. This is Strawberry Frosting. Here it is next to Birthday Bear. This is next to It's the Little Things. Here it is next to Trust and Pixie Dust. Here it is next to Lavender Latte. This is Easy Bake. This is Delilah or Soulmate. Here it is with Go-Go Boots. And lastly, this is next to Polyville. The next one on the collection is called Princeling. Princeling is described as an icy blue polish with a blue shimmer and a hollow finish. This one is very, very beautiful. As a gray lover, I really love seeing different variations of grays, especially when it's shimmery. I'm obsessed with this one. It's so cute. If you love your bluey, shimmery grays, you are going to love this one. And also, just like the other ones, I think they're all sheer polishes, so you can obviously build it up as much as you want. But this one, I feel like it's a little bit thicker than the other ones. Okay. So the comparisons for this one, the first one that I compared it to is Leave Space for Cake, which is a collection that just came out back in January for the 5th year anniversary for Lacquer. And this one was like the most requested by you guys, and I completely agree. That's why I put it right next to it in the very first comparison. But to my surprise, they do have a little bit of a difference. Leave Space for Cake is more of like a rainbowy, shimmery polish, and Princeling is mostly just focuses on the blue shimmer. That is basically the biggest difference between both of them. The one on my thumb is Fuzzy Socks. Fuzzy Socks, in comparison to this one, is a bit more champagne-y colored, and these glitters are a lot thicker and you can feel them on your nails. But Princeling is more of a smooth type of glittery polish. The next one I compared to it kind of surprised me because I did not think it was going to be up here, and that one is Our Mermaid's Not Sweet. I always just tend to forget how like gray, blue, even like yellow toned it is. They are obviously very different, but I don't think they are so completely out of this world different that I didn't have to put it here. And the one on my pinky is High Fae. Obviously it's completely different because it is like more of a topper kind of thing, but I did want to put it here because High Fae does have like that teal shimmeriness to it that I'm like, maybe some of you guys would want to see that, so I hope it helped. But they're obviously completely different polishes. Okay, so the next comparison, the first one that I did is Spanglish. I knew I wanted to put it here even though I knew from the beginning this was going to be different because Spanglish is a metallic and it has no like additional colors to their shimmer, so it is just a plain metallic silver. Okay, the one on my thumb is Misfit Toys, and I honestly didn't even think about putting blues with Princeling until I swatched it and I looked at it up close. I think Misfit Toys is like our lightest blue, I think. I'm not sure. These two would be so pretty together, like mix and match. So the next two also kind of go with what I said about Misfit Toys. The next one I compared it to is Frost and Starlight. Frost and Starlight has that Diamonds Are Forever kind of finish, which is so beautiful. They need to make every single color like that, but it also is a very pale blue, so I found little bits of similarity within both of them, so that's why I wanted to put it here as well. And the very last one is Ever After. Out of the three blues, is probably the one that looks like it the least, just because Ever After does have like a pinkish yellowish kind of tone to it in the shimmers, but I did want to put it here because it is a very, very light blue, so just in case you guys needed to see that. I do have a couple of bottle comparisons, not as much as True Love's Kiss, but I do have a couple, so let's go ahead and see them. This is next to Butterfly Milk. This is next to Big Fish. This is next to Cold Case. This is next to Easy as Pie. Here it is next to La La Land. This is next to City of Stars, which I am surprised I did not put it in the comparison. This is next to Eat My Bubbles, and I just wanted to put it here because Eat My Bubbles does have like a bluey shift to it. Here it is next to Dirty Dancing, which was also very close. This is next to Moon River. And lastly, this is next to Cancer. Alright, the very last polish from this collection is called Spring Court. Spring Court is described as a lilac opalescent polish with a green shimmer finish. The moment that I laid my eyes on this polish, I fell in love. Oh my gosh, I don't know what it is about it. The combination of like green and pink is so beautiful to me, just because it is a very natural combination of colors. You see it out in nature all the time. So I just think pairing these two together is such a good decision. But just like you guys, I was very curious to see the comparison for this polish, especially because I wanted to see it next to Wings and Things. If you guys are seeing the comparisons, you guys can tell that they are not the same thing. Obviously, they are not the most different things in the world, but in my opinion, from having both of them and swatching both of them, Wings and Things is very much just light pink base with a very greeny shimmery glitter, and Spring Court to me has more of an opaque base to it, which is like a very cool toned pink, and the shimmer is a bit more teal than green. And also Spring Court does have a lot more shimmers, I think, and they're a little bit more thicker than Wings and Things, so they do have their slight differences, so they're not like completely identical either. The next one that I compared it to is Easy Bake on My Thumb, also because it has a very much cool toned pinkiness to it, so I thought it was very important to show it here because it is very similar in that sense. The next one that I compared it to is Frenchie, which is also a very cool toned pink, but this one is slightly more vibrant, so it is less similar to Spring Court. And the last one that I compared it to is Sherry. I always feel like I add Sherry even if she's been gone for years. Sherry is more of like a silver and pink kind of thing, when Spring Court has variation of teal, green, pink, so that's like the biggest difference between both of them. In the next comparison, I compared it to Birthday Brat. Birthday Brat is a cool toned pink, but I feel like it is not cool enough to be very similar to Spring Court. I feel like it is slightly more warm than Spring Court. The one on my thumb is Drama Queen. This one is an explosion of glitter, and this one is a lot more vibrant and it has like fuchsia in it, so I did want to add it here for that reason, so you guys had an idea of what they look like together, because they are super different. The next one that I compared it to is Trust and Pixie Dust. I mainly wanted to add it here because since it is a continuation of What's Your Fantasy, I wanted you guys to see as much as What's Your Fantasy with it, but it's obviously so different. Trust and Pixie Dust is obviously a purple with like yellow green shimmers, and they're just very different. And the last one that I put here is Mean Girl. Obviously you guys can tell it's super different. Mean Girl has a true like blue shimmer to it. That's kind of good because you guys can see how Spring Court is actually like a more teal kind of shimmery. For bottle comparisons, I only have a couple for these, so let's get started. This is next to Bah Humbug. This is next to Flower Girl. Here it is next to Strawberry Boba. This is Cheer Bear. Just like Princeling, I did want to add High Fae to Spring Court, just because since it is part of the What's Your Fantasy collection, I wanted you guys to see them together. This is next to Candy Girl. And lastly, this is We Come to Party. Okay, it is that time for the ranking. I will say this one is a lot easier than my past rankings, just because I kind of like knew what I liked and what I would use more. So it is a little weird because I didn't think it was gonna be in this order, but my last place, and I always have to say this in the videos, it's not that I don't like it, I just know that I will probably use it the least compared to the rest of the collection. So with that being said, my last place is gonna have to go to True Love's Kiss. I can't believe it's the last one because this is so cool, and I always gravitate towards the very unique new polished colors that we get in Lights Lacquer, but compared to the other ones, I don't know, I fell in love with those more. This one is so cool, so please don't be discouraged by my ranking. This is such a dope color, and you can literally wear this alone, or you can add this on top of a creme or even a shimmer polish, and I feel like it would look so cool, so you guys should definitely show this some love. My second place. I did not think it was gonna be here, but it ended up being my second place, and this one belongs to Princeling. I have always mentioned on this channel that I love grays, and I just think this is so beautiful because it has like a bluey, even a purpley, pinky kind of finish to it. So I just think it's one of the prettiest grays we have, and I'm just so excited to actually put it on all of my fingernails. And obviously, the most beautiful color of the collection, Spring Court, is my number one. I it was a no-brainer. This one's gonna be my first place. I just think it is so beautiful. This reminds me so much of fairies and magic and wings and just delicateness, and I just fell in love when I saw it, and I'm really glad that it's not identical to Wings and Things. This one is so much more different, and I feel like I like this one better than Wings and Things just because it is like a more teal, cool toned kind of like finish to it. I don't know, it's just so beautiful. I love it. That is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the swatches and the comparisons. Please don't forget to let me know what your ranking is. And like always, thank you guys so much for using my code. It means the world to me and to my channel. And if you guys haven't used my code, I will leave it down here. It is ValZenDen, and you guys will be supporting my channel. Thank you so much. And a huge thank you also to Lacquer for sending me this. I love you guys so much, and I will see you on the next one.